Over the next 3 slides, I'm going to introduce you 6 different videos related to 6 different use cases. Each of the use case present about a IoT application scenario, and each video explains how they have used different types of sensors to achieve different types of tasks. They will also go through and explain what are the types of sensors, why they did use particular type of sensor, what are the information they extracted out of these sensors, as well as challenges in using sensors in IoT applications. Please pause the video now and go to individual videos and watch them completely. These 6 videos will give you a strong foundation to understand the appreciation, the usage of sensors and actuators in IoT systems. These 6 scenarios or use cases come from 6 different domains. First, we talk about a mining operation, how the sensors are used in mining. Then we talk about wearables and gait analysis, how the sensors are being used in wearable domain. Then we talk about sensors and actuators in dairy farming. Then we will be moving to sensors in autonomous driving. Last 2 use cases focusing on self-powering remote sensors, especially focusing on wind turbines. And then finally we talk about living labs and buildings and how the sensors are being used within them. I hope now you have watched all the 6 videos related to 6 use cases where they talk about the use of sensors and actuations. In this short video, I'm going to show you a supply chain scenario where the bananas reach from agricultural fields to your doorstep. It's a very short video, but please carefully watch it and understand how the products move from beginning to the end of their life cycle, and what is the role of sensors and actuators within this life cycle. You will understand there are quite a lot of sensors and actuators need to be involved in this entire life cycle when a product moves from agricultural fields far away from cities to reach to your doorstep and the kitchen. In lesson 1, I introduce you different types of IoT application domains. Over the next 3 slides, I'm going to introduce you to the same IoT application domains, but I am now going to list down the mostly common use sensors under each of these domains. However, these are not strict rules saying that this is the only sensor used in this particular type of application, but this is give you a brief idea that each of these IoT application domains have their key primary sensors that most of the manufacturers or developers are going to use. So please take your time, pause the video and go through these IoT application domains and their corresponding sensors they commonly use. I understand that most of you may not know all the sensors, and that is completely fine. Nobody can keep up with the sensors. Upcoming sensors come to the market every single day. But I want you to understand is that first you need to be able to appreciate that there are a lot of different types of sensors, and there are different sensors can be used to measure the same phenomena. For example, later in this lesson, we will be discussing that humidity can be measured by different types of humidity sensors. And each of the humidity sensor might come with a different price point, and then the accuracy, and then other different parameters. So when you say you will be using a magnetic field sensor or accelerometer. They don't refer to a specific sensor. They are referring to a broad family of sensors. How they develop each sensor is completely up to the manufacturer, depending on the particular application. For example, a temperature sensor could be bought like 2 pounds to 20,000, because the more expensive, the more reliable and accurate they are. There are a lot of other characteristics. They're like operating range. So we'll be talking about these different characteristics later. So what I want you to understand is that this is basically developing some fundamental knowledge you can have, where that each domain has some preferences to certain types of sensors within their typical applications. But these sensors I have mentioned are just family of sensors. They are not specific type of sensors. When you are developing your own IoT application, for example, let's say smart lighting, you need to go to the marketplace and decide the specific sensor with specific characteristics where you want to integrate them into your application. There's no universal sensor. Even under the category of light, there's no universal sensor. So you need to pick the sensor with the characteristics that you need for your application. So this is for you to understand the broad picture of IoT application development from sensors point of view. Please take your time and go through this sensor list.